Hello everyone, welcome to another vocabulary session. Today we're going to talk about customs and traditions regarding food around the world. Food and culture. Food and culture are interwoven. The processes involved in preparing, serving, and sharing certain foods and drinks might appear simple, but they often carry important social and cultural significance. Recipes and dietary practices can be used to transmit knowledge from one generation to the next. I chose the most important ones. There are several more. I invite you to look into the others. The first one we have is truffle hunting in Italy. In 2021, UNESCO recognized the importance of Italy's Tartuffe truffle hunting traditions, which are passed down orally through generations. It includes two processes: hunting truffles, including being able to identify areas where the fungus grows, and truffle harvesting, which is done with a special spade. Italian tartuffes possess intimate knowledge about climate, ecosystems, and biodiversity. Truffle hunting is done in a way that respects the environment and does not deplete natural resources. The culinary tradition also includes feasts held at the beginning and end of each truffle season, where special foods are prepared to showcase the delicious flavors of locally grown truffles. Then we have Ciboudjen in Senegal. Ciboudjen, Ciboudine, is the national dish of Senegal in West Africa. The recipe originated in fishing village on St. Louis Island and is today eaten across the country and in other nations in the region, including Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Mauritania, and the Gambia. Ciboudje recipes are passed down from mother to daughter. Every region and community puts a different spin on the dish, but the essential ingredients include fish, broken rice, tomatoes, onions, and other seasonal vegetables. Higher quality fish and finer vegetables are used for special occasions or when a family is preparing ciboudje for guests. At home, the dish is served in one large bowl, a bolus, and eaten with one hand or using a piece of bread to scoop up the rice. Ciboudje is widely considered to be a symbol of Senegalese teranga, meaning hospitality. Lavash in Armenia. Armenian lavash holds a special place in the country's food culture and social life. The skill and coordination required to knead and cook lavash, as well as the social exchange that takes place among women when preparing it. Lavash dough is a simple mix of wheat, flour, and water. Once kneaded and rolled, the eats pull and stretch over a special cushion that's stuffed with hay or wool. Still on the cushion, the bread is then transferred to a conical clay oven, called attonir, by slapping it onto the side. It only takes between 30 and 60 seconds for the delicate bread to bubble up and cook through. Finished lavash sheets have different colors and textures, depending on the type of flour used and the duration of the bake. Washoku in Japan. Japanese food is collectively referred to as washoku. At its essence, it reflects a deep respect for nature, using natural, locally sourced ingredients such as rice, fish, vegetables, and edible wild plants. Every little detail about Japanese food, from the way it's prepared and presented to the way it's eaten, stems from a historical cultural tradition that is passed down through generations. Washoku is traditionally comprised of 4 elements: cooked rice, the staple dish, soups, side dishes that give flavor to the rice, and tsukemonu, meaning Japanese pickles. Then we have the Mediterranean diet in the Mediterranean region. Some of the strongholds of the Mediterranean diet in Spain includes using few ingredients to make flavorful dishes while eliminating food waste as much as possible, eating many small dishes with an emphasis on sharing, and viewing food and diet as a social ritual. One of the greatest examples of food being used socially would be tapas culture. Throughout Spain, it is incredibly common to go out in the evenings with groups of friends, have a drink, and share small plates of food. Another major factor in this important facet of cultural identity is the role of markets. There are large central markets in most Spanish cities, each featuring small stalls with local vendors selling their family's specialty. We also have couscous in Algeria, Mauritania, Morocco, and Tunisia. Couscous is a cereal, thus the process starts with a seed. The semolina that's grown and harvested is rolled by hand to form those tiny rounded balls. It's then steamed and finally cooked. Each of the 4 countries listed has a slightly different way of preparing and eating couscous. But one thing they all have in common is the ceremonial nature of the process involved, which are transmitted down from parents to their children through observation. There are special tools involved with making couscous too, including clay and wooden instruments that are manufactured by specialized artisans. The final stage in the couscous life cycle is eating, which is also linked to important social and cultural practices, traditionally shared from a large pot between family members and friends. Couscous is a symbol for togetherness. Turkish coffee in Turkey. Coffee was first introduced to the Ottoman Empire in the 15th century. It was an instant hit. From that point on, the Ottomans controlled coffee trading routes and were responsible for spreading coffee throughout the empire. This explains why countries and territories previously conquered by the Ottoman, including Bosnia and Herzegovina, have their own coffee traditions that are closely related to Turkish coffee. To make Turkish coffee, roasted beans are ground to a superfine powder and brewed slowly with water and sugar until a foam forms on the top. Turkish coffee pots, or sebze, are integral to the ritual. Miniature bronze pots for 1 or larger sebze that holds enough coffee for a large group are presented to the drinker on an intricate coffee tray. Sugar cubes and a square of Turkish delight is usually served on the side. Traditional Mexican cuisine in Mexico. One of the most interesting facts about Mexican food is the development of the national cuisine was driven by the interaction between Spanish conquistadors and Aztec culture. Most of the Mexican food we eat today is a delicious combination of ancient traditions, Aztec, Mayan, and Spanish. The French also played their part in the story of Mexican cuisine, adding baked goods such as sweetbreads and the bolillo to the mix. Contemporary Mexican cuisine is more a mix of modern ingredients from European, North American, and even Asian influences. Like anywhere else in the world, it's hard to replicate true Mexican food outside of Mexico. Food is one of the main ingredients of Mexican culture. Food is essential to every social gathering, one of the reasons why the food is so great. Beer culture in Belgium. Beer is big in Belgium and has been brewed in the country for centuries. Containing water, barley, hops, and yeast, beer was originally made by monks and nuns in the Middle Ages as a replacement for water. Drinking water was often unclean and made people ill, so a brew of weak beer was preferable, even for children. The brewing process killed off any germs, and the addition of hops acted as a preservative. Thus, a vital culinary part of the country's history, culture, and tradition was created. Today, there are over 1,500 different types of Belgian beer with a variety of flavors, colors, and alcohol percentages. And that is all for today, guys. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.